information. Today, success depends on having the right information at the right time in the right place. Getting it right takes technology and people who know how to use it. There are many kinds of information, such as text, audio, video, graphics, and data. Each one is unique and necessary for a particular purpose. That's why people use video to show action and graphics to balance the budget. But something special happens when you join two types of information into one medium. For example, video and audio, or graphics and text. The total effect is greater than the sum of its parts. 1 plus 1 is 3. What if you could have the speed and versatility of a computer with the impact and definition of video? But why stop at 2 or even 3 types of information in your media mix? What if you could call up any type of information you want, whenever and wherever you need it? In short, what if you could have it all in one system? You can, from Sony. A system to process all your information media, no matter what the source, and deliver results on the world's most familiar technology, the television screen. Now you can have it all. Quality images, sound, computer graphics, text, and data, all combined in a system that can listen as well as talk. Think about that for a moment. It means the viewer becomes active and involved, motivated and alert. It means you can tailor the program to one viewer's response or 1,000. It means you can survey behavior to learn what makes the viewer tick. In fact, it's as close as you can get to face without being there in person. How do we do it? We married the world's most familiar technology, television, with its most flexible, the computer. The results of this union are most compelling.
Anything that it mentions, they're curious and will ask, and it helps us sell, because if we're too busy and they see something on the screen, they'll ask about it.
What we're able to do with this technology is actually to simulate apprenticeship. A person can work with an expert, the system can provide guidance when it's required, and the student can actually simulate real-life events.
One of the reasons we win with the Sony and the superimposition quality is that it allows us much more flexibility in a game.
It's just a beautiful system. Simplifies teaching.
The recipient could actually control what's happening and participate more in what's actually going on. And this would mean that it could be more individually tailored to what the person really needs and wants.
Think about it. People are ready for interactive television, much more so than we might expect. They are smart, they are intelligent, they want to interact, and why are we not doing more of it?
The time has come for media processing systems. Now let's take a closer look. Point of purchase is where the buck either stops or starts flowing in the highly competitive retail marketplace. Smart managers are making a strong, positive impression on buyers with systems that inform and entertain while they sell. VCM Systems is an Iowa-based video merchandising company which markets point-of-purchase systems to corporations and networks of retailers. They produce Green Day Video, a lawn and garden video network. It fills the customer's need for answers to questions about many of the plants, hardware, tools, and treatments the staff may not have the time or knowledge to handle. The manufacturer whose products are featured on the program gains high-impact exposure right at the point of sale. And both the retailer and the manufacturer receive valuable market data on the customer's choices via the computer memory.
It was very easy. And all I had to really do was read a sentence and push a button. Instead of having to say, describe the angle that you're going to cut the shrub in words, like if you were reading a book, you can see the angle the person is cutting the shrub. I learned that I should sprinkle my tomatoes. I didn't think you were supposed to sprinkle tomatoes. So I gotta, now I'm gonna go home and sprinkle my tomatoes.
Anything that it mentions, they're curious and will ask, and it helps us sell, because if we're too busy and they see something on the screen, they'll ask about it.
Would you come over here?
It's in the mainstream of traffic, so the customers see it, and it's like a new toy, so they want to see what it is.
Information. Press an orange area below. I said, let's find out about climbers and ground covers because that's what you bought. Press here. Now watch this. It's much easier for me to see something visually and try to follow the directions than it is just following the directions and not have it in little picture form. Much easier.
Especially the information on the hanging baskets. That's what I want to put together. And so he went by step-by-step method. It looked like it was easy to do, easy to follow.
The format is easy to use. It's easy to find the information that's on there, and then you push a button. A lot of times you just don't want to collect another brochure. You just don't want another thing to put in your pocket. You just want the information and to walk away.
In the box, on the top, of course, is a color TV. Underneath, in the bottom, we have a computer down there that retrieves all the information and programs the video disc and accesses the video disc, which is also underneath down there. The Green Day video people have sent us the reports back after we've sent them the retrieval. It lists out how many times each of the programs has been used. And it's shown us what I think people are really the most interested in. It makes me a little more aware of really why customers are here. They want information.
NASA's mission is to explore space, but to succeed, they need a solid public relations program back on Earth to keep taxpayers informed and involved in their far-flung goals. So the NASA Visitor Center at Wallops Island, Virginia, chose a Sony system to function as a visual directory of their work to date and their plans for the future.
When we saw the video disc players and how fast you can access the frame with them now, and how flexible they are, we knew this was the way we wanted to go. With this new technology we have, we can really have a person interacting with NASA work. The more people interact with this system, the more interest they'll have, and the more they will appreciate the work that NASA's done over the years and be willing to support NASA projects in the future. We did a lot of volunteer work with the public, brought in school groups.
And then when you got something interesting, you would play it slower and you could see them in slow motion. You didn't have to have it going fast.
It's as realistic as you can get with the graphic overlays that explain to lay persons exactly what's happening.
It's better because instead of just watching something over and over again, the same, you can change it different every time.
Most of the time in entertainment and in learning, the recipient is passive, just sits there and receives what is being sent out. But this allows the possibility that the recipient could actually control what's happening and participate more in what's actually going on. And this would mean that it could be more individually tailored to what the person really needs and wants.
Teaching is a two-way process. The teacher stimulates, and the student responds. This interactive learning loop is an ideal place to use media processing to make education as productive as possible. Economics affects everyone, yet almost no one takes the time to learn how the system really works. With the help of an elaborate media processing system, Enterprise Square has made the subject not just palatable, but fun. Its wide appeal is testimony to the drawing power of well-managed media.
We're at Enterprise Square, USA, where we have up to 500, on some days 1,000 visitors coming through to learn about our great Enterprise system. Well, we wanted the latest technology available that could, in rapid sequence, put together our program for the viewers to come in and really get the message quickly, move on and get a new message, and going through each pavilion, and we chose this system.
You go into a nice little black room, then all of a sudden there is a news flash, and a flying saucer has landed in Oklahoma City and then moved on to Enterprise Square. I think the kids will really enjoy it because they
it's something they recognize, something that they're familiar with, and it will keep their attention. The use of the video to show you in actuality what they're talking about is extremely wonderful. And I must admit, I learned some things today that I really didn't know before. My favorite part was at the very first, after you come off the elevator and you get to choose which occupation you would like to be in, actually get up there and have your image projected onto the television screen doing whatever it is that you want to do. The talking face of government is a giant silhouette of a head with TV screens. They talk about government regulations and the effects that the government regulations have. I felt very comfortable with what was there. It didn't seem mechanical. It seemed very natural.
I think one of the most exciting exhibits that we have is the venture game, where we have a combination of video discs and color graphic computers and touch screens all wrapped in together to produce an economic game simulation that allows the player to, again, choose a role in life. And through the use of the video disc and computer, we can allow participants to make decisions just like someone in that business would make.
I picked a store owner, like a dress store owner, and you decide how many dresses you buy and how many you don't buy. And then at the end of each year, it shows you how much you made or lost. I did real good. I came out with, well, the first year I made $105,000.
The video disc really adds some life to the game and allows us some flexibility that we wouldn't have otherwise. Being able to use the computer and the video disc in conjunction enabled us to do that where I don't think there's any other way you could have done it.
The art and craft of sales is usually taught on the job, where mistakes can be costly. Xerox Learning Systems developed a generic sales instruction system to work with a teacher in a classroom setting. Now sales calls can be experienced and studied before the customer comes into the picture.
We feel that interacting, whether it be with paper, pencil, or interacting with video or film or what it may be, is very important. That the learner should be participating and get involved in the learning process. The video disc brought for us a way of improving that interactivity. The ability to let the student interact on a visual basis as well as interacting on paper and pencil and on the audio side of it.
Thank you. And welcome, fellow sales experts, to the Professional Selling Skills Big Quiz Show, The Skill Game. Here's where you'll all have a chance to review the PSS3 skills, check what you know and what you need more work on, and because this is part of selling too, have some fun.
I think the secret there is to make your product as user-friendly as possible. I know that term's overused, but it really is important to have your video disc be something that fits well and comfortably into the seminar room. We're very interested in how you marry the machine in that seminar situation. And we think that's an area not many people are looking at. A lot of people are looking at the self-instructional model, but you've got to look at it also as a tool for the administrator, a very powerful tool.
In a changing society, training and retraining are vital concerns of all employers. With flexible systems, the learning encounter is a hands-on experience. For example, Wilson Learning in Minneapolis teaches PBX procedures on the obvious tool for the job, a touch-tone telephone. It replaces the keyboard as the computer's input device, making the student a participant rather than an observer.
We do a tremendous amount of video. We have a broadcast studio in-house, and now we're getting into CAI, computer-aided instruction, and interactive video. On this particular program, because we're doing telephone training, we wanted the learner to just see a television screen and a telephone. In the best of all possible worlds, this kind of training should be absolutely transparent. What happens is you would come up to a learning station. You would see a telephone, you would see a TV screen. You very quickly get involved in a Star Trek-like plot. One of the reasons we went with the Sony and the superimposition quality is that it allows us much more flexibility in a game that allowed us to really meld the two, the video and the computer together The people you see on the screen, the rolling video, the still frame video, are all coming from the video disc. Now the graphics, all of that is generated by the computer. Well, there are really two opposite ends of the scale that you find your customers on. You really have to get in the whole cost effectiveness factor. What are the problems they're trying to address? Is it that they've got a huge target audience and they simply cannot support it with training? Is it that it's a very decentralized audience and they need to provide on-site training? Is it that they have 3 different shifts and their trainers don't want to be teaching at 2 in the morning? There are all kinds of problems that this is very good for. You've got it.
Interactive training systems brought an age-old tradition, apprenticeship, into the electronic age with a media processor that acts like a master.
Interactive Training Systems is an education company which specializes in delivering education utilizing interactive video as a vehicle for that education. What we did as a company was to explore what are the dimensions of learning from the standpoint of how do people effectively learn. And one of the things we saw was that the most effective way people have learned for thousands of years is through apprenticeship. What we're able to do with this technology is actually to simulate apprenticeship. A person can work with an expert, the system can provide guidance when it's required, and the student can actually simulate real-life events. This particular demonstration was prepared to show the capabilities of this technology in a flight simulation trainer. This mechanism will be used to teach them familiarity with the aircraft, as well as engine startup procedures, emergency procedures, and so forth. I interact through touching the screen. The student is allowed to probe around inside this aircraft and gather information. I can touch any portion of the screen, and the video disc will zoom in, based on the computer input, will zoom in on that particular area of the screen, and I can get more information about that area. The underlying principle of education is that of apprenticeship. By working with experts, by being able to ask questions, be prompted for answers, to actually steer the course of events.
Systems which simulate a real-life experience have some dramatic instructional benefits. Actronics of Pittsburgh combines computers, video discs, and an electronic mannequin in a CPR learning system developed by the American Heart Association. It offers a highly professional, self-teaching, self-paced, and self-testing course to any level of learner, tirelessly, at any hour of the day or night, 365 days a year. This is possible only through an interactive media system.
The system basically consists of a video disc player, a random access audio source, a computer, a light pen, and an electronic mannequin. Basically, the left-hand screen displays information from the video disc. The right-hand screen is the output of the computer. The system is always ready for the student, and all one needs to do is to read the screen, which says touch this spot with the light pen when you're ready. After that, the system takes over and begins to teach the student how to use the system. Mannequin practice allows you to use the training mannequin itself and get a direct readout of how well you're doing. All these other functions, such as being able to have a pulse, being able to block the airway, were not previously available on any kind of a training aid. It's self-testing, it's self-teaching, and as you notice, you can do all of that with only the light pen, and you never have to use the computer keyboard. A study was conducted at the University of Pittsburgh School of Nursing, where 2 groups of student nurses were put through 2 different types of CPR training. The students who were trained on the CPR learning system scored consistently higher than those who were trained by the traditional methods.
In my opinion, the major benefit to this system is it is cost effective, that any organization, whether it be a hospital or private company, will save money, and that's primarily because they will not require an instructor for teaching if they purchase the system.
In case after case, as soon as people use the system, start it up, and find out how user-friendly it is, how easy it is for them to use it, and what a precise job it does in training them, they invariably become converted zealots and are very enthusiastic about it.
It's just a beautiful system that simplifies teaching. it takes out a lot of the human error that occurs in teaching with a faculty person. This type of a session can be used at the doctor's own time sequence that will help him in his own work. He can schedule it when he has an hour to do part of it or all of it in an afternoon if he can. He doesn't have to wait for the hospital program to present it to him.
I think that once the system becomes widely used, we're going to have a substantial increase in the number of people that are trained in CPR, and therefore a large increase in the number of lives that will be saved.
Dave Allen is a video systems programmer and theorist. He speaks from experience about media processing.
It is not important that people understand that they are, quote, using a computer, unquote, when they interact with their television screen. In fact, we probably better not even tell them that at all. Make it so that they can interact strictly with the screen, that whatever they want the screen to do for them or whatever information they want to give to the screen, they do it by touching the screen itself. I mean, there is literally no institution you can name that does not have as part of its operation some set of information that people need to refer to from time to time. All of that needs to be put in the most agreeable, efficient form for affecting the transfer of the information. And paper ain't it. The disk is ready. The disk does not get tired. The disk never fails to present the right information. It's always there. And it allows us enormous flexibility in how sophisticated, how involved, how long, both in terms of distance and in time, we make the interactive loop. It is the ideal product for that kind of interactivity.
Access, realism, flexibility, participation. This is what draws people to interactive media. And once they've seen it in action, people can easily imagine it elsewhere.
Now, veterinarians had tapes like this. People could get a lot of good education that would make them, use the veterinarian more wisely. For women, especially, I think if you go into like a lumber store.
With this machine, going into a drugstore like that, this would be most effective.
I never know how to find things in a hardware store or what the things are called.
Quite possibly in a department store, where to locate items in a large department store.
Think about it. People are ready for interactive television, much more so than we might expect.
Now is the time to start an interactive information system. Sony is the place to begin, because Sony has a component approach to system design. This means you can start simply today and expand easily to meet tomorrow's needs. When you do expand, Sony has everything you need to put together a complete compatible system: hardware, software, support, and service. So if you have Sony and you have questions, we'll have answers. Text, audio, video, graphics, and data. Now you can manage them all just like computer data and deliver them quickly wherever and whenever you want. So for the person who has to harness all his information and make it work together, for the person who wants it all in one versatile information system, the system is from Sony.